And we are live. What about the gold, sucker? What about the gold, sucker? And what is up, everybody? I'm your boy, Ben Goose, and we're coming in hot on this week's show. A lot to get into, so we're going to get right into it. I'm your boy, Ben Goose, and I am here with my boy. Oh, that's your cue. That's your cue, Sage.
My bad, man. I didn't know you was I didn't know that you was referring to me. I thought I was going to get the full intro.
Normally we would. We got a lot to get into this week, and it was a flashback. It's kind of like we're coming up on our 100th show. We hit 1,000 subscribers. My bad, 1,000 followers. Well over 2,000, approaching 3,000 downloads. Your boys are getting popular. We're getting real popular. So I thought, let's hit him with them. Like the throwback when we did our first couple shows, I would say, "Yo, it's your boy Ben Goose, and that's your boy," and you would cue in Sage DeMont. Hey, you need to cover up that C.
I got to cover, man. I got to cover. I got big
you need to cover up. Yeah, you need to cover up that C on that soda cola can.
Yo, all I'm going to say is call me.
The endorsements are we got a lot to get into, a whole lot to get into. Let's get into SmackDown first. I felt like SmackDown was a go-home show, and I say I felt like that because I didn't watch it this week. I made the awful mistake of DVRing SmackDown, sat down on the couch. Power went out for a bit. It went out today earlier too. Cable went out for a bit, and I thought, you know what? It's all right. If you've been following our Instagram, you could see 2 weeks ago, I posted a video, a quick pic. And Sage and Mark has too. Sage and Mark, as you know, got into running. Dude ran a half marathon. So I'm doing from fat Balor to fit Balor. And I started running myself. So I said, you know what? There's nothing better to do than to go to the gym, hit the treadmill, do the cardio, do the equipment, and I'm going to stream SmackDown. That's perfect. You telling me I can get a workout in and watch SmackDown? This is perfect. So I went, and their Wi-Fi was horrible at this place that I live at, these apartments. Wi-Fi was terrible. It didn't work. And I don't have unlimited data, and I'm almost out of data. I thought, all right, maybe I should just stream it. And the Uverse app failed on me, so I couldn't stream SmackDown. So yesterday was a day I couldn't watch SmackDown, and we're here today. So what did I miss on SmackDown? I know it opened up with an R-Truth Andrade Cien Almas segment.
Yeah. So it was a mixed match, not a mixed match challenge, but it was a mixed tag match between R-Truth. Or the Fabulous Truth, I should say, and then Andrade Cien Almas versus Zelina Vega. All off of my cues today, man. Oh my goodness. R-Truth can still go.
Yeah,
he can still go. That match was competitive as heck. And Carmella, whatever she's been doing in the gym in terms of performance, it's showing. Her exchanges were fluid. She even got physical with Cien Almas, which is pretty awesome, man. But ultimately, Cien picked up the win with a little bit of a distraction from Zelina Vega. But solid, man. Even though this wasn't like a prelude to any type of mixed match challenge, man, I could watch that match all day. It was straight fire. Man,
good stuff. Did they do a dance party?
They actually did. They did a 7-second dance party. Them hitting the what's his name? Was it the Orange Justice?
No, they did that this week.
Yeah, Truth hit the Orange Justice, bro. Yeah. Dude, hitting it. Yeah, Yeah, man.
That's one
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah.
That's the one dance I cannot do. I swear. That Fortnite Orange Justice. That's the one dance. I can do the floss, swoop, you name it. But that's one I look at it, I'm like, damn, that's what I'm not about to hit. So actually it makes me wonder with all these trendy dances. We got a packed show. We're gonna try to really get a lot into today's show. I gotta ask, back in the day, not even back in the day, but when me and you would go to the club and you said, you know what, that's a fine damie right there. That's a fine damie. And you told the DJ, hey DJ, I need you to play chopper style for me. That just shows you when we were in our club in prime. But back then, girls would go out and they would dance with dudes. Girls would go out and they'd have a good time, meet themselves a man, hang out, dance, do the Cupid shuffle, do whatever it is back then. But now it's kind of like, hey, what up, girl? You want to dance? Hold on, watch me floss. Like none of these things have any social aspect to them. These dances, they look awesome, and they're ice. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's dances these days aren't meant to be with a girl, but it's meant to break the ice. So props to Fortnite.
Yeah, bringing it back, man. It's kind of funny though, man. Like the gaming industry right now is just so, it's different, but it's not at the same time. Like you've got a lot of these these small apps that are doing putting people's music inside of their games while you're doing like little temple runs kind of thing and little puzzles and paper IO kind of stuff. Which is funny because like Harmonix did that basically with amplitude and frequency back in the day, and now it's kind of making its comeback with just people who are fans of that. They just kind of did it in their own thing. So it's kind of like throwback, but for the newer generation. So I can respect that. I can respect that, man.
Yeah, gotta respect it. What else was on SmackDown? What was the highlight of SmackDown? What was, because we definitely got to get into Raw. The biggest part of Raw had nothing to do with wrestling at all, and it was a segment. But talk to me about SmackDown.
Man. So I mean, the AJ Joe thing, it wasn't really all that great. I mean, all it was is just AJ throwing a promo, basically selling a promo on his own at his own home kind of thing. So you don't really need too much work on that. It kind of sells itself, and that's kind of the way that they positioned it itself. New Day got their butt kicked by the Bar, which was pretty entertaining because they had Mr. Buttersworth breaking a little bit of kayfabe there after he got some batter dumped on his head. But Big E said something was freaking hilarious, man. I gotta go back, but he said something that was just like, yo, he's a fool for this, man. He's just straight up clowning, bruh. They try to, I guess, position themselves to having like a talk show for Guy Ferrari, or auditioning for Guy Ferrari, the Man versus Food guy. I think, isn't that him? Is it the Man versus Food guy?
No, that's it's a new guy. Guy Ferrari's the one who did diners, dinners, and drive-ins, I think. The blonde hair and like the blonde goatee.
He's the one who goes to those hot restaurants, like the spicy places, and tests their food, right? He did that in San Antonio.
He will too. Yeah, he'll do it. He'll do it every now and then. I forgot the name. There's two guys who do Man versus Food. There's two guys who do Man versus. Do you think? Okay, for you yourself, you're probably my friend that can handle the hottest of the hot foods. Do you think, if you did a Man versus Food challenge, would you rather do a challenge where you have to eat 50 wings? So it's kind of like can you finish this whole massive amount of food in X amount of time? Mm-hmm. Or would you rather do 10 like ghost pepper or 10 of the hottest wings? Because you could handle spicy.
Yeah, I can handle spicy. I mean, I'm not a glutton. I don't support gluttony. I like food, but I'd much rather savor the taste of food than I would eating as much as I can. So with that being said, I would probably say that I would have to go with the 10 hot wings, the spicy level, because to me, the beauty of spice isn't so much how hot it is, it's how exactly is it flavored to get that hot, right? Do you use a
Okay.
little bit of cayenne, or do you use some habanero mixed with some cinnamon? Like, let me know. That's the kind of thing that I'd enjoy more.
So what else on SmackDown this week did we have that I missed?
And then the last but not least, which is everybody's weekly segment, Becky came out and debuted her poster because she was very vocal over the weekend about not being on the Super Showdown poster. So she made her own poster, and yeah, it went viral, bro.
Yeah, it
I'll
did.
just say that
No, I
it
saw it.
went
Yeah.
everywhere. Like, I watched it on replay or on Hulu the next day. Before then, I had already seen Instagram blowing up with the picture. And the picture was great, man. I mean, it says everything. And I love the fact that she claimed like she's the face of the WWE. Like, I like that. I dig that, man. That was pretty solid, man. But that was pretty much it, man. It was a good show, man. It has some good wrestling, some good storylines. It didn't go over the top, but it didn't need to. We all know that this pay-per-view has nothing to do with SmackDown. It's all about The Undertaker, and most of the matches that you're going to see are going to be like house matches. I mean, even though it's a pay-per-view, it's going to be more built like a house match.
A super house. Yeah. Super house show. Before we get into our predictions, though, for the super card this weekend out in Australia, Raw. I thought Raw was I didn't like the ending. The ending was kind of, well, the ending. Let's get into the ending. The title this week, H.Bald.K. It was the first time we've seen Shawn Michaels without that dated cowboy hat. Can we talk about that? That cowboy hat has no style today. Like, no, maybe it's because we're in Texas. I'm not hating. Shawn Michaels is amazing. We're from San Antonio. He's in San Antonio, but that cowboy hat hasn't. Nobody's wearing that these days, right?
Nobody wears cowboy hats, bruh. Nobody. Not even in North Texas. You go to Lubbock, you go to Humble, like nobody. Arlington was not Arlington, but the Amarillo,
yeah, Lubbock.
Nobody wears country hats, bro. You go to a country club, and like out of 300 people, like 20 people are wearing cowboy hats, bro.
Yeah, you go to a solid country club and you don't see many cowboy hats, and the cowboy hats that those people are wearing are probably $200-300 beautiful cowboy hats.
Yeah,
like custom made, custom crafted, just perfectly fit. Yeah, but I feel like that straw thing. It's like they sell them at the gas station, and he picks one up on the way in. So not digging the cowboy hat look, but definitely support our local boy Shawn Michaels here.
I mean, do.
It really was it. It wasn't weird to see him bald to me because, I mean, dude's 50 years old or something like that.
Hide it, bro. He tried to put a not even a bandana, bro. He put some, I don't know what it was, like a sock in front, so it kind of made it look like he was wearing. It kind of reminded me like back in the day when Hulk Hogan used to have like his bandana, but he used to have like hair attached to the bandana, kind of thing.
So why do you think he's embarrassed? Do you think he's embarrassed by it? Because he's one of the best wrestlers of all time. That's a controversial topic. I know. If he's in your top 10, he's in your top 10.
Ain't in my Mount Rushmore.
But he's definitely in the top 20 of all time.
I'll give him that.
But he's one of the, and he had controversy. He's in all the best. He's in some of the best storylines of all time. So he's one of the greats. Definite Hall of Famer. Hey, as a fan, lose the hat. We could care less if you have 10 hairs on your head or 2,000 hairs on your head. It doesn't matter, man. Like, we know what you did. We know what you, I don't know what you can do. You know, you've been out of the ring for a while, but appreciate you coming back. I thought it was awesome. Lose the hat, just cut the promo. And that's one thing he can do is he can cut. I'm going to look at you in the camera and be serious promo. And you think, man, this guy's legit telling it from his soul. He'll never lose that. Like Mick Foley, without the yelling.
Yeah, I still got I mean, I'm okay with Shawn Michaels coming back and Triple H, doing a couple of things. It seems like it's the formula come towards the end of the year. build up to WrestleMania. So have maybe 4 matches between some Survivor Series and WrestleMania. But there was some talk going on in the community about, you know, the nostalgia acts taking center stage over the talent.
Yeah, that's clearly the main event.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I mean, I enjoy a good story. I don't know if I would say that this should be closing the show. I mean, even though it's inevitably going to. I just, yeah, I don't know, man. It's all I know is it's going to be like day 300 and something where AJ doesn't close the show and he's the damn champ. But you know, I digress.
But does he have to main event to be the best in the business in the world? No,
he hasn't he's only main evented one match in his entire title reign, and that one match is when he won the belt from Jinder Mahal.
But he doesn't have to, though, bro. Like, if you are so okay, we could both agree AJ is the best overall, the best in the ring in the world. So that includes NJPW and ROH. I know there's the Kenny Omegas out there. He's, you know, I'll say this: he's arguably the best wrestler in the entire world. Arguably, would you agree?
Oh,
so
yeah.
What does it matter where you're at?
It's the principle of the matter, man. Like, I'm not expecting him to close the show every single time, right? But there should be no reason Roman Reigns, I'm not hating on Roman Reigns, but I'm just saying there should be no reason that Roman Reigns, who doesn't have the belt, should be main eventing something where the storyline is inferior to the rest of the card. And I'm not even talking about SmackDown's card. His storyline is inferior to the rest of the card. The matches that he's going against are inferior to the rest of the card. Like, to me, I think the booking of it is just it's terrible. I can name at least 4 pay-per-views where you could have at least let AJ close the show. At least let him close the show.
So,
but here's out of 15 pay-per-views, you only allow him to close the show one time. Like,
but with AJ Styles, you're gonna get. You have to schedule the show. Okay, let's talk about this. You have to schedule the show with Roman Reigns, who's not terrible. We boo him, of course. It's actually really fun to boo the guy at this point, just because you get sometimes a 50-50. But I think when you're in an arena and you boo Roman Reigns and it's 75% boos, then you know, hey man, I'm with the marks. I'm with the real wrestling fans tonight. And you have a great time. But Roman Reigns, his heavyweight matches, Lesnar, Braun, these guys that he fights, you're not going to get a match that's the same wrestling quality as AJ Styles. Quite frankly, because he's not as good in the ring. He hasn't been doing it as long, so he shouldn't be as good. So it's kind of like you could afford to put AJ anywhere in the card, and it's a guaranteed thing. So I'm actually a fan of putting AJ anywhere in the card, knowing, hey, you know what? Maybe I have this spot in the card that's not going to be as popular, but you know what? AJ Styles is the fail-safe. He is the ultimate. I don't have to put him in the main event for him to steal the show. I don't have to put him in the main event to be the main event, is the way I see it.
So,
but I understand your point of the respect thing.
I get it, man. But AJ saved the show this time last year when everyone had gonorrhea. Let the boy close the show one time.
Sage, do me one time. Do me something real quick. Will you grab your microphone and let people hear it? You hear that? You hear him grabbing the mic?
I'm grabbing the mic, man.
Now go ahead and drop it, because you just dropped some serious knowledge on these fools.
I have to do some editing on that, man, because touching the
grab
mic.
It. Look. Yeah, we do this with real mics. Sage just hit a knowledge bomb on him. Raw. Let's go into the segment of Raw before we get into our predictions. We got a lot of predictions to get into. Let's go into our segment on Raw. Mm-hmm. The best segment on Raw by far was the Elias segment. The Shawn Michaels thing was great. Took a couple bumps, set it up for the main event this weekend. The Elias segment where he badmouthed the Supersonics. And that's the thing, is Elias comes out every week and he's getting he's flirting with the top 5 on the mic. He's on Raw, at least he's flirting very close to being one of the greater on the crowd. Like he plays his instrument, like he plays the guitar. I made a comment about the Seattle Supersonics. Wasn't even that major of a comment. It was a comment though, and that's what he does. He goes to every city and says, "Oh, blah 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 blah." But I don't know why they would do this for this city, and it's a way to just get some heat with the crowd. But this one, man, those fans made that segment, and Elias and Kevin Owens. There's no 2 people who could have done that greater, and just fed off the crowd and thought, yeah. And we know wrestling's scripted. They got lines they maybe have to hit, maybe they don't. I don't know. They got points they got to get across. But those 2 guys knew in that moment, as entertainers and actors, nah, man, I got to let this one ride out. Like from Elias yelling at the production guy, turn up my mic so they could hear me. And the boos went on for what? 9-10 minutes?
Yeah, about 10 minutes, man.
What'd you think of that segment?
That was deja vu, man.
To what?
To when he did the same thing about the San Antonio Spurs. He was not gonna make it out with San Antonio alive, bro. Those boos went on just as long as the Supersonics did. I thought it was great though. I mean, I like that unpredictability. Like you just hit something that's gold and then you just let it go on TV for as long as it is. Like that's what you need. I mean, they were going through, they were trying to force their promo, which at that point, I think that what they should have done is cut the promo real quick and then keep digging into the crowd afterwards and just let it go. But they were kind of prolonging, like it was like 5 minutes of them trying to get into their promo, and it shouldn't have been like that. But other than that, man,
I agree.
I thought that was.
I agree. It definitely seemed like for a while they were letting the fans play it out, but then they were forcibly trying to get into their promo, where maybe an audible should have been called at that point, and just those 2 guys should have said, "You know what? I don't need you. I'm out." And then you get a Bobby Lashley interruption or something like that. But yeah, definitely segment of the week. We'll give that one segment of the week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for WWE, yes, I would say that would be the segment of the week, man.
Yeah, by far. And again, we do this on Thursday nights. Y'all record it live. Who just scored? Is that Sonny Michelle? By the way, Josh Gordon scored a touchdown tonight. He should be scoring them for the Browns.
Is Gronk playing?
Please tell me he's playing. He is playing. He doesn't have a touchdown, but he is playing. They're not throwing him to him too much today. But
yeah, I was kind of wary of whether or not I should have started him. Man, the dude is like
it's fragile.
Double-edged sword there, man.
Mr. Glass. Now we got a lot of predictions to get into, so let's start off before we get into the WWE Super Showdown, mate. I feel like I got to say it like that because it's Australia. The Super Showdown. What time is it? What time is it going to be on? Do you know?
It starts 5:00 Eastern time, so 4:00 Central.
Okay, so I have to watch it at 4 on Saturday. You know, this Saturday's tough. I got family stuff going on, so I'm going to be unavailable from pretty much 4:30 till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night because of family stuff. And that's a weekend where we have the Super Showdown. So I should be sitting on my couch, maybe make some food, relax, pop open a couple of Oktoberfest, relax for a bit. But I can't because I got family stuff going on and I can't back out of it. So I'm going to have to I'm going to have to put my phone down, not check social media, not check text messages from 4 or 5 o'clock for the Super Show. But just as important, the Conor McGregor UFC 229 card. So we're not going to get into a full card review here, but I've got to ask you. Conor McGregor's fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. Probably butchered that. Khabib's 26-0, man, and he's winning in very clear fashion, not by knockout necessarily all the time, but he's got a good ground game. So McGregor's big UFC comeback this week. Who's winning that fight?
All I'm gonna say is I'm a Pone Tony. Got my dillies on the Panistai. Khabib going all the way, straight to the ponytone. And that ain't no lie.
Going with Khabib. Yeah, I've got Khabib too. I think I don't know. I haven't checked Vegas odds on who's the over or underdog. Excuse me. But we'll see. We'll see how that fight turns out. I think Khabib is gonna take him down to the ground, basically beat him up for a bit, burn out Conor's cardio, and that'll be the end of it. And if Conor somehow wins this one in the stand up in the round 1 or 2, I'd be really impressed, and I'd eat my words in a heartbeat.
Yeah, put a stack on Khabib. That's all I'm gonna say. Put a stack on Khabib.
If you're gonna be betting. Let's get into our Super Show predictions. It's a good card. Got about 9-10 matches here. So you mentioned earlier Becky Lynch. So let's get into that. I don't know if this will open the show. I doubt they would. I don't think they'd open it instantly with a title fight. But Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. This is an interesting match because regardless of what happens in this match, I feel like it's going to happen again at the All Women's pay-per-view. So I've got Becky Lynch retaining, but it'll probably be by DQ or count out.
Yeah, man. I kind of struggle with this one here, man. I feel like Charlotte's gonna win, but cheat to win, and they're going to prolong that either cheat to win or it's going to end up in a DQ finish. Because I know I'm like almost 99% sure that this is going to go on to Evolution, and you have to have a path where Charlotte goes back to Raw. So that way her and Ronda can start their inevitable feud. So,
well, they could feud for Survivor Series if they do the cross-branding inter-promotional thing.
Yeah, I just don't think that they will this time, man. I think that it worked last time because you had the brand split, but now that you don't have, you had the brand split on the pay-per-views, so it kind of put a little bit more onus on it. This time around, I don't feel like they're going to do it. If they are, then it's going to be just the women, and I don't think that that's even the right thing to do either. So, but we'll get into that once we get closer to just Survivor Series. But yeah, I have Charlotte winning this one, man. I don't know if she's going to take the title, but I feel like she's going to win this one, and it's going to end up having a rubber match at Evolution.
Yeah, I think so. I think this one definitely carries into Evolution, but I do have Becky Lynch winning. Maybe not by pin, but by count or DQ. Speaking of women, I guess just might as well mark this one off the list. Asuka and Naomi defeated the wait, what? Asuka and Naomi going up against the Iconics.
You're clairvoyant or something, man? What's up?
Yeah. I think to me, Asuka and Naomi are going to clearly win this one. The Iconics have unfortunately been jobbers since they've been called up. And
oh man, but their segment on SmackDown this week was so great, bro. They came down to the ring and they kind of paused, did a little pause, and then they had the picture-in-picture with the backstage segment on it, and they were doing one of them. They call it the Aussie floss, bro. If you haven't seen it, it's freaking hilarious, man. They try to do the floss, and then they ended up posing. It's iconic, and they had like their superhero pose, like.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check this out,
bro. The Aussie floss, bro. The Aussie floss. Yeah, man. I think it's actually going to be a pretty good match if they let them go. I honestly think the Iconics are going to end up pulling up the upset on this one here. I think that they're going to take out Naomi. And I think
should.
I think they should, or kind of. I think, and this is just me, but I think that it would be interesting to see a Naomi versus Asuka feud coming through. So I'm hoping that they push them towards that kind of direction. So yeah, I got Iconics winning this one, man. Aussies all the way on this card, man. Aussies all the way.
Now,
oi, oi, oi.
keeping it with tag teams, the New Day, you talked about him earlier, versus the Bar. I like this feud for an Australia card because it's stable, it's safe, regardless of anything. The New Day, the Bar, and the Usos can put on a safe, very good match. Like that's a total safe match, and I'm a fan of it. I don't think the titles are going to change hands. I actually on this card, I don't think most titles will change hands. But I'm gonna go with the New Day actually retaining.
Yeah, I got the New Day retaining as well.
Like I figured this is to me, it was like kind of a short-term feud just for the card. Not a knock on anybody, but that's kind of the way I saw it. Especially as these guys just came off of their feud last year. So cruiserweight action. Cedric Alexander is fighting
Buddy Murphy.
Does anybody know who Buddy Murphy is?
Oh, yeah. We all know who Buddy Murphy is, man. He's the man from down under. Right, Buddy going to get his championship. That's Alexa Bliss's man. Right there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks a lot different than he did back in NXT when he was with Wesley Blake. Sorry.
So you know where Wesley Blake is from, right?
He's from San Antonio.
Close enough. San Marcos.
Was San Marcos or was it Bernie?
No, it's San Marcos. It's just outside of town. So I have a funny story. So let's talk about 6 degrees of separation. So, yeah, it was it? It was Wesley Blake that's dating Alexa Bliss, right?
No, Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy, the Australian. Sorry, had it backwards. So, all right. Let me hit you with the knowledge bomb here. So, Blake, and I get the two confused. I don't even know why. They're not like twins or anything. He played at San Marcos at Texas State, played some football there. And I want to say he was like a athletic coach or like a strength and conditioning coach or something like that. He is dating Sarah Lee, who was a Tough Enough winner. I think she beat out actually Liv Morgan on Tough Enough. Grew up in San Marcos, and Dobby Amore's a regular guest on the show. Dobby Amore's cousins went to high school with the guy and with somebody else that they all went to high school and they knew each other in high school. They're late teens and early 20s. So Dobby Amore's cousins knew Wesley Blake, and then another actress who I've told you about before online, and they all kind of grew up in San Marcos and stuff like that. So small world, small world.
Texas films, man. Texas films. What I will say is, can Dobbs get us the hookups to get in that interview?
with who?
It depends. My case.
Enough said.
What's next on the card?
AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, because I'm putting this one when I look at where the match will be on the card. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, based off what we talked about earlier, is going to be in the middle of the card because they're going to keep it far away from anything John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Triple H Undertaker related. So I figured it'll be probably within one of the first 5 matches. I absolutely, positively, 150 million%, because we're considering this a super house show. I got AJ Styles retaining by. It's a no DQ, no countout match. Shit. You know what? I'm going to go crazy. Samoa Joe wins, and he leaves Australia as the new champ. Ooh. He may cheat, but he's leaving as champ.
That would be interesting. I actually have this card. I have this match opening up the card As crazy as that sounds, I think this is going to open up the card.
I
And
can
it's
see
going to
that.
piss off a lot of people, including myself. But
But
I think that's
but
just
we
the
can
way
see
that they're
that
going to
you
do
got
it.
to come in hot in a new market. You got to come in hot.
It's definitely going to be the heater match. It's either this one or the New Day. Those are the only two that are going to be the heater
Great
matches.
point. Great
I do
point.
think the cruiserweight will be on the main card. I don't think it'll be a pre-show match. I think it will actually be on the main card. So, but with that, I digress. I think that AJ is going to end up winning this one. And it just makes logic to me. It makes more sense if you're going to eventually put the title on the Miz. You got to give it to a face. You can't put him against Joe. It would be interesting because it would, be something unpredictable. But I just think that if that's the way that they're going to go, if it's the title is going to eventually be Bryan versus the Miz, then you got to put AJ out. So AJ is going to be the one who's going to win this one.
So I still have AJ retaining because I think that feud will last a little while longer. But speaking of Bryan and the Miz,
so do you think that there's going to be a triple threat match for the title then come the next pay-per-view?
no, I think that there'll be some fuckery in this match, and AJ Styles will. No, you know what?
It's either got to be a triple threat or it's got to be a one-on-one match.
I just told you Samoa Joe's going to leave with it, so I was thinking, and I'm going out. That's a big stretch because deep down inside, I don't think Styles is going to, because this isn't like an actual. You know what? Here's how it's going to go down. I've hit it.
Triple threat.
You have to have some titles change somewhere on this card because it's a super show. It's in Australia. You want people buying tickets next time you go back. I think Samoa Joe walks away with the title, and then you don't have to do a triple threat. It just leads to the Styles Samoa Joe rematch at some point down the line within the next 2 or 3 months, and then we'll go into Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season.
Yeah, but you got to get the title to. Are you saying that the Miz or DB are not going to get the title? Is that what you're saying between now and the Royal Rumble?
Correct. And then if I had to pick now, I'd say Samoa Joe wins this weekend. And that leads to a Daniel Bryan Samoa Joe WrestleMania match. And Daniel Bryan wins either a number one contender match or he wins a Royal Rumble.
Damn, I don't know, man. I don't know, maybe it'll work. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
Now, the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey are fighting the Riot Squad. Do you want to skip this match? Because I think to me, the Bellas and Ronda Rousey have got this one in the bag.
I will say, since you asked me for my opinion, the Miz is going to win. Just saying that. No, man, I think this is gonna be the shocker. I think that I think the Bellas are gonna turn on Ronda Rousey and lead to the match, the official announcement of Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution. So I've got the Riot Squad winning this one.
All right, interesting. That's a good take. I like that. The Shield, since we talk about 3-on-3, the Shield is fighting Braun Strowman, Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre.
Dog Wars.
Dog Wars. They're fighting the dogs of war, aka Dog Wars, aka War Dogs, aka Hot Dogs. So it's like you said earlier, it's a glorified house show type thing, but very entertaining. It'd be great to watch. Is this where we get the Ambrose heel turn?
I don't know, man. Like, I felt like they botched it on Monday with him coming out and pretending that,
Yeah, that promo was way too long.
Yeah, it was way too long, and it was way too over delivered to where like there's no shock value now. So if he turns, like it diminishes the turn, right? The only way that you could recover from that is if Reigns turns on the Shield, and we know that ain't gonna happen.
No.
So at this point, man, I think we should all be checked out of it. I got the Shield winning this one, man. I don't feel good with it. I feel like they shouldn't win, but I got the Shield winning this one.
Same here. Daniel Bryan and the Wiz. Daniel Bryan and the Miz. Again, I've got, and this is for the number one contender match. I've got Daniel Bryan winning this one. The Miz has gotten 2 Ultimate wins over Daniel Bryan in the past couple months. So I got Daniel Bryan winning this one, and it'll set up. Now I think about it out loud. I had Daniel Bryan winning this one. It sets up a him versus Samoa Joe feud, and if he beats Samoa Joe, maybe AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble, and we get a Styles Daniel Bryan WrestleMania match. Whew. It'd be amazing. But yeah, I've got Daniel Bryan picking up the W in this one.
Yeah, I got the Miz, man. It's time for the Miz to carry the belt, man. He's carried the SmackDown for let's be honest. He's carried both brands for the better half of 2 years on his back. Made both the made the Intercontinental belt worthy,
Relevant.
Yeah, relevant. Put talking smack, to a whole new level. Like, you got to reward this guy at some point in time and let him have his title reign, no matter how short it is. You got to give it to him, man. And I would love to have another, like, his promo at WrestleMania would be so, I mean, pardon the pun, but it'd be so awesome, man. 2 for 2.
Oh, yeah.
Got the Miz, man.
Now, in the one of the last matches of the night, it's Lashley and Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens. It's, to me, pretty obvious Lashley and Cena are going to win. I don't see this match lasting that long because these guys can pump out a bunch of merch.
Yeah.
In Australia. So, I mean, it's kind of like, who cares who wins that match? Nothing's on the line.
Do you feel like there's any value in seeing Bobby Lashley versus John Cena?
Not at all.
Yeah, me either. I got them winning.
Unless Leo Rush can start, the next gen level stuff with him being on the mic, being Lashley's maybe manager or something. I don't really care to see it. I'll watch it because I'm a wrestling fan and enjoy it, But and then the main event, Shawn Michaels versus his hat. No, I'm playing. It's Undertaker and Triple H. That I assume, I don't know yet, but I assume it's the main event. The way they've hyped this thing up, and it is nostalgia. I'm not gonna lie. Once you could say what you want, and us marks, us wrestling fans, us this, us that, we're gonna say, "Oh, why don't you push the younger people?" Blah blah blah. But once Triple H's music hits and Undertaker's music hits, you still get that, like, hey, now I gotta get on the edge of my seat and watch this. This one's tough to call because there's nothing on the line. But I'm gonna go with Undertaker on this one. He hasn't won a match in a while. Or, well, I shouldn't say hasn't won a match, but his win-loss record is not great in the past few years. Aging veteran. But I'm gonna go with the Undertaker. Triple H will carry the match, but I'm gonna go with Undertaker here.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with Triple H because it's pretty obvious that they want to have the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, and I think that's gonna end up happening in that Survivor Series. So I think that Shawn's gonna somehow get involved in the match and cost Taker the match. Maybe tries a super kick Kane, but ends up super kicking with the ref not looking the Undertaker, and then he goes out night 1 2 3, gets really frustrated, and then that opens up the feud, because that's really where the payoff is on this one, unfortunately.
See, but if Triple H, Shawn, okay, so let me ask this: if Shawn Michaels came back, do you think he'd be able to put on a 5-star show?
No, not even. It depends. I don't think he can put on a 5-star show with the Undertaker. But I mean, why you come back for one match, bruh? I mean, we got AJ Styles.
That's what I was just thinking. If you're gonna come back,
Yeah.
We got AJ Styles sitting there for you, and he can
AJ,
carry you and
HBK.
make you look amazing.
Yeah. AJ, HBK, WrestleMania. I mean, we all that's all we want to see. Let's be honest. That's what we want to see. So if that's eventually going to lead to that, I'm all ears. And then we can have Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, call it a day, in both their careers.
Nice.
The right way.
Good call. They would be Sting versus Undertaker would be a very bad match, but just
it would be the perfect
to
send
watch.
off for wrestling. Period. You retire 4 legends in the span of 6 months. It'd be perfect. And Vince McMahon is still living to see it. The death of WCW, or I shouldn't say the death of WCW, but the closure of WCW, the closure of the Attitude Era, like the way that it should have been. I think that would just right all the wrongs. All 4 of them started together in the same promotion and, you know, ended together in the same promotion on the same card on the biggest stage of them all. Why not?
It makes sense, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping that that's where it goes, but I will say you crapped all over the cruiserweights, bro, and they're going to be on the main card.
I said Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy,
but you didn't say who was going to win.
Cedric is. He's. I don't know why at this. I was thinking this last week. He and his finisher would be fine on the main roster. He'd be fine on the main roster. I'm not crapping on the rest of the cruiserweights, but if WWE said the cruiserweight division's done today, Cedric Alexander doesn't have to worry about a job. He'd be called up to one of the main rosters and be perfectly fine. So I have Cedric Alexander. I have him holding on to that title for a very long time.
Yeah,
until Gargano and Ciampa get called up. If they go to
you wish, bro. Buddy Murphy. He been working out. He been getting it to the spot to get that #1 spot. The man from down under is going to take it to the hole. It's going to be the end of Alexander's era. You got to make this boy chase that title to get it back. And it's not going to happen because your boy Buddy Murphy going to hit that lumbar check for the win. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Shout out to Jack, Devin Inney in the chat. What up, bruh? WCW was only poor after the NWO Wolfpack debacle happened.
Yes, and shout out, Jack. We do need less PG stuff, but it doesn't have to be pointless blood and cussing. Like, keywords pointless there.
Yeah.
You can watch anything for that. So, other than that, I don't have anything else I want to talk about this week. What about you?
I know we got to cut it short a little bit here, but I will say the big news in wrestling this week that you missed, bruh.
No, I didn't miss it. He
Pac.
came back. Well, I don't know what his name is.
Pac.
What a stupid name. No, what a dumbass name for a great comeback. What does that mean?
I don't know, man.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, is his real name Adrian Neville? Is that his real name, or is that his?
I don't know.
Show name.
Well, his real name clearly is not Pac.
Yeah, that's true, bro. I don't know, man, but I'm glad he's back. It's interesting that he didn't go to any of the bigger promotions in Japan, which is pretty cool because then you can kind of build something out from scratch, man. I mean, something that I know Dragon Gate's pretty big, but I mean, it's not. You know,
well, and we still have a lot of free agents coming up with come January. If you watch this week's edition of Being the Elite, check it out on YouTube. It's Being the Elite. There's some free agents coming up. Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, some of the Bullet Club. Soon, Marty, the best wrestler in the entire world, Marty Scurll. He's coming up, I think, early half of 2019. So a lot of free agents. So it makes me wonder, with the Bullet Club being as hot as they are, and we'll get into this in future episodes of the podcast, maybe they make the jump. I mean, yes, maybe you're selling out a little bit because you don't get to make your own schedule. You don't have a lot of the autonomy and the freedom, but the paycheck will be fat and guaranteed. So we got some interesting stuff coming up. And wrestling.
Nice to see him at least make a Royal Rumble appearance. That would be pretty awesome, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything else before we wrap up?
Shout out to my boy Thug Money. Thug Money, are you out there? This shout out for you, bruh. We went toe to toe in Hearthstone today. 5 games. Yo, the dude's got a massive deck, and by deck I mean cards. And it's pretty awesome, man. Shout out your boy. Thug Money.
Thug Money. Give you mad props. We'll be back next week. Next, Venom. Hit up Venom. Hit us up on social media at Real WrestleCast. Let us know what you think of. You could let us know. Don't spoil Venom. Come on now. But let us know what you thought about the movie. Hit us up. Let us know what let's keep it wrestling and UFC based. Hit us up. Let us know what you thought about the UFC card, the WWE Super Show. Venom's in theaters this weekend. Next week, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 comes out. So your boy Ben Goosen will be tied on that big time. And hit me up on Xbox. It's literally Ben Goosen on Xbox. Not hard to find. I'll be tied up on Black Ops 4 next weekend. Other than that, Sage, anything else?
Support your boys at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/IRWP. We got some great tiers there, some great content for you guys as well. Help support your boys there. Also, Goose, because he's oblivious to everything, didn't notice that we updated the website. Got a new design, new layout. We even got the merch on the front page. Y'all go check that out, irwp.us. Mae Young Classic reviews are up. Go check that out. Real WrestleCast on Twitter. It's Real Wrestling Podcast spelled out fully, but without the fully on Instagram. 419-777-IRWP. You watching this video, drop a comment. Let us know what your picks are for WWE Super Showdown. I'm your boy Sage the Mark. That's Ben Goosen. Y'all know the drill. That was your cue.
Yeah, y'all know the drill. Go to a dentist. The drill, the dentist, right? Is that what you were saying? Like, is that how it goes?
You're terrible, bro. Bro. I volleyed that up for you, bro, and you murk it up, man.
Yeah, well, you're doing the ending this week. I'm trying to turn up the music. I'm trying to turn it down. Y'all know the drill. Go to a dentist, right?
Peep these pink glasses, bro. Breast cancer awareness. You didn't even get the props, son. You didn't even get the props.
I did get the props.
Yo,
I did get the props.
Y'all keep it real. I'm out.
Hey, everybody, the thoughts and opinions expressed are that of the IRWP and not of the host. Hit us up at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. Visit us at irwp.us, 419-777-IRWP, 419-777-IRWP. You will be on the show if you leave us a voicemail, or if you just hit us up and say, you know what, I want to chime into the show. I want to be a special guest. Hit us up again at 419-77-IRWP. And like your boy Sage and Mark said, keep it real.